Hi guys, welcome to today's webinar. I want to thank everybody. So I'm super excited. I have amazing new guests with us this month. You guys are in for a treat. Before we begin, let's give everyone a couple of minutes of signing in right now. While you guys, we are waiting for everybody to attend and sign in, go ahead and put it in the chat box. How'd you heard about us? Where'd you come from? We would love to get to know you guys. All right, guys, my name is Sophie Lynn with Keller Williams. Today, it is my pleasure and honor to have all of you on webinar with us. As you know, we are passionate about bringing you guys value every month. And this month, we're so excited. We got an amazing guest with us. So insurance is a big thing. When you are thinking about this biggest transaction, biggest asset, you have to understand the bank is constantly looking for security. So having the right insurance is the key. So before I begin, allowing me to tell you guys a little bit about who I am. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Sophie Lynn Keller Williams. I am a licensed realtor here in the Bay Area for 6 years now. I grew up here in the Bay Area for 35 years. My background is architect interior design from Academy Art University, San Francisco, which allows me with the golden eye and vision of what real estate can do. I am super passionate about bringing education to you and your friends and family. This is why we do this every single month. Follow us on every one of our social media and webinar. All right. Let's go on and meet our guest today. Subrata, tell us a little about who you are and how you become what you do.
Nice. Thank you so much, Sophie. And I'm so excited to be here in your webinar. And I really hope that your attendees or the prospects or your customers get real value out of this session. So my name is Subrata Saha. I'm a farmer's insurance agent and a broker. So why I say broker is because Farmers Insurance has its own brokerage company, which I'm going to talk about eventually. That makes me a little bit, unique or different than some of the online marketeers where, you don't really know what is the right kind of insurance and things like that. But anyway, so coming back to who I am, as I said, Subrata Saha with Farmers Insurance, and I have been an agent for the last 4 years as a full-time agent with Farmers Insurance. Prior to my being an insurance agent, I have worked in the banking and insurance sector from the technology companies selling technologies to the insurance companies. So insurance is not new to me. It's just that I'm on the other side. After 15 years selling into the insurance industry, I'm now on the other side as an agent. And I'm here to answer any critical questions that customers might get and help you and your customers going forward. Sophie, thank you.
Fantastic. Well, you guys are in the tree. Subrata has years of experience, and he is one of my trusted insurance guy. Anytime you guys have any insurance question, you will be blown away how Subrata is always respond quickly, communicate, and there for you. So so throughout this webinar, make sure that you guys reach out to him. We have his contact on the right of the chat box. Feel free to schedule one-on-one with Subrata any given time. He is there for your references. Okay, so today we want to discuss few topics. We're so excited. We have all this prepared for you. We're going to go through the current states. We're going to we want to talk about this California FAIR plan and fire scoring, which is a big conversation nowadays. We're going to we're going to talk about the coverage gap, and we're going to talk about the coverage and deductible. And last but not least, how do you choosing the right policy type? This is the basic information every coming soon homeowner need to know. Okay, so Subrata, let's talk about the California insurance crisis. And let's talk about what is the home insurance market right now, a perfect storm now.
Sure, absolutely. So I think, Sophie, a right timing that we are in, because insurance and is in everybody's mind, whether somebody is buying a new home or somebody already has a homeowner's insurance for various reasons. And the reasons could be, the top reasons are that, a lot of companies are leaving California. So it's making the homeowner, a lot of anxiety in terms of what's going to happen when I don't have insurance. Will I get insurance from any other company or not in California? So, but I wanted to tell you and assure you that the insurance state of affair in California right now is not as bad as we think it is. It is not as bad as it was last year, right? So slowly, while we have gone through situations like companies leaving California, including State Farm, Liberty Mutual, all these big companies, they could not survive doing business in California, and that led them move out of California, which is like keeping the homeowners, literally handicapped, for the lack of a better word, to find alternative insurance, right? So that period has really ended. I've been last 3 years. I had seen many customers coming and giving me a call. Hey, my insurance, left California. They're not renewing. What can we do about it? So the other example that I would like to give you is that before, let's say 5 years ago or even 3 years ago, insurance would be one of the last things that we will be worried about while buying a home or renting a home and things like that. But I think it had come to a point where the real estate agents or the mortgage professionals, they would reach out to me, say, hey, Subrata, can you tell me if this home is insurable or not? Only then, if it's insurable, only then I'm going to show it to my customer, right? So it had from being in the last in the list, it had gone pretty much the top of mind, for everybody, like what's going to happen with insurance. So, as I said, it used to be bad, but slowly, very slowly, in the last 3 months, I have been seeing a lot of companies are trying to come back to California, right? So from the time last year when, a customer will have only one option, maybe with Farmers or any other company, to now, there are multiple options. Even as a broker, I have few carriers apart from Farmers that I can help my customers with. But to bring it back to your question, I think the state of insurance is getting better day by day as we move into 2026.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? A lot of time I share with every one of my clients, education is the key. The more you are aware and knowledge, the better you're going to make your decision. Whether
Yes.
it's the insurance aspect, whether it's lender aspect, whether it's buying the right home, it's all about knowing and right education. So that moves us to the next topic. Subrata, can you share with us a little bit more about the Cal Fair plan and the fire
Sure.
scoring?
Sure. Sophie, so you may know that, last few years, you might have heard too much about Fair Plan, right? And then now, consumers or the customers are curious about, what is Fair Plan? Is my insurance good enough without a Fair Plan? Okay. So to kind of give you the definition of Fair Plan and what it does in California. So California Fair Plan is supposedly be the last resort of a insurance provider when none of the other companies are providing you home insurance, right? So that's number one, and that California Fair Plan is the last resort for insuring your home. The second aspect of California Fair Plan is that when some of the primary insurance companies are not giving you fire hazard, the fire coverage, you need something, to qualify for the loan, or even in general, you need fire coverage no matter what for any home, right? So a lot of the companies will say that, hey, I'm going to give you all the coverages except for fire. And that's when you go and get a fire fair plan, and we call it companion policy along with your homeowner's insurance policy, right? So fair plan is definitely top of mind these days. Also because there's a new, you already mentioned, there's a new fire line, or the fire zone map that was introduced in March of 2025, and that made a lot of difference in kind of homes that did not require fair plan before. Now they do, right? So I think fair plan, in short, fair plan is the last resort of providing insurance, and also for covering, kind of the fire hazard for your home. There is fair plan unless you have you have an insurance policy that is already covering fire.
Got it, got it. Guys, Subrata has so much knowledge. You guys, today we are trying to bring in as much information as we can with the shortest amount of time we have. So make sure on your right-hand side, we have given you Subrata's contact information. You guys are going to write it down and reach out to him for the one-on-one consultation. All right, moving forward, guys, talk about coverage gap that most people do not know and must know. A lot of time it's the flood and earthquake that is not covered by
Yeah,
the home
yeah.
insurance. And can you share a little bit of your knowledge on that?
Sure, absolutely. So, like you said, California Fair Plan does cover fire, and and I mentioned that fire coverage is one of the top priority or top coverage that you need to have in a homeowner's insurance. Similarly, a lot of the customers think that flood and earthquake are included in homeowners insurance. I think that's a myth. The reality is the homeowners insurance will never cover earthquake damage and flood damages, right? Now, for flood, it's a little bit different than earthquake. Earthquake policy is more of a choice that you make, because the mortgage companies will not ask for earthquake policy. But then, if your home is in a flood zone, a designated flood zone area, that's when you will need to buy a separate flood insurance. And also, I think some of the mortgage will not even do mortgage approval until you acquire the flood coverage for the home. So yeah, I think the fire, earthquake, and flood are the three most important kind of categories of coverage that you want to make sure that you have enough coverage, or if your home needs those coverages for now.
That is so important, guys. If you
Yeah.
are thinking about buying a home in the next 3 months, 6 months, a year down the road, this is where I tell you, you have to be educated. The more educated you are, the better you're going to be when you find the right, perfect home. And you
Yeah.
got to remember, here in the Bay Area, buying a home, it is happening super fast. So all this knowledge should be acquire in advance, right? All right, next, I want to also talk about the coverage, the
Mhm.
deductible, and the premium. How exactly does the whole entire thing work with the limits and a deductible affecting your premium? How does everything work out? Sparta, can you bring us a little bit back into the impact and how does it work?
Yes, Sophie. So, I think, one of the most important aspect of the home insurance is the coverage. Now, once you have taken care of the coverage, now you have to look at the price of the insurance. And in insurance terms, we call it premium. So premium is, equivalent to the price of the insurance. Many a times, due to your income ratio, you may not qualify for a mortgage if your insurance is too high. For example, if your debt to income ratio is too high, right? So it's you need to know that you can actually adjust the deductible on a homeowner's insurance policy to keep your premium or the cost low, right? And then there are many other aspects where you need to be inquiring with your agent, or if you're doing an online quote, that what are the specific things that I'm getting discounts for. I know if I'm an engineer, do I get discount? If I am a doctor, do I get a discount, and things like that. So being a farmer's agent, I think it really helps me when we can provide like all sorts of discounts that are possible in a homeowner's insurance, right? And then you go with the premium, and that way you are getting the full coverage insurance, but at the same time you're qualifying with the mortgage very well, and you can kind of close your transaction in a win-win situation, right?
Thank you. Thank you. And again, every client, every situation, every property is going to be different. This is
Hmm.
why we need to always talk about every single one of them, has a unique cases. Last but
Right.
not least, Subrata, I appreciate your time and your knowledge today. I want to go over choosing the right policy type.
Hmm.
So most of the people, there is the special form, there's comprehensive form, there is all different kind of costs. How does one choose the right policy?
Yeah, absolutely. So, in the Bay Area, we have different kinds of homes. We have single family home, we have townhomes, and then we have condos, right? Now, for the single family home, the most well-known coverage is called the homeowners insurance, right? But even in homeowners insurance, there could be different types, HO3 and HO6. So, for example, if a customer is getting a townhome or a condo, and if they buy the homeowners insurance, it's kind of a wrong policy type for them. So there are special forms like HO6. Anytime if somebody is buying a condo or a townhome, the society or the community does a lot of thing if there is damage outside of my home, right? And things like that. So if I'm buying a townhome or a condo, the best what I suggest my customers is to please check with your property manager, what kind of insurance are other homeowners getting. Are they getting HO3 or HO6? So for single family homes, it's not very critical. I think everybody knows it's a single family home and I need homeowners insurance. But when it comes to a townhome and a condo, I think that's where you need to really confirm with the property manager. You need to confirm with the insurance agent whether you are getting the right kind of policy or not. And then the other is, in Bay Area we see a lot of the investors. They have homes that they rent out. So the rental policies, we call it landlord policy, right? So if I have a home that is being rented out, I will get a landlord policy, which is DP3 or DP6, instead of a homeowner's policy, which is HO3 and HO6. So there's HO, which is homeowner, and there is DP, which is dwelling for landlord properties. I think these are the pretty much the key different types of policy, and I would always recommend that you check with your property manager, you check with your real estate agent, you check with your insurance agent whether you are getting the right set of right kind of insurance for your home.
Good. Let's wrap it up today with a couple few questions that everybody is asking. So number one, if we are writing an offer, we are preparing an offer, and
Mhm.
there is insurance contingency, and most of the time, in order to be competitive in the offer in today's market,
Mhm.
most of the offer are they remove their contingency, including the insurance contingency. What would you recommend to buyers on the market who's preparing writing an offer to feel the confident how to remove that insurance contingency? What kind of question do they need to ask you before they're writing an offer?
Yeah, I know that's really critical nowadays. A lot of the homes with farmers insurance, I can tell you that a lot of the homes that are beyond $1 million dwelling coverage, right? So there are homes in the range of, let's say, $2 to $5 million. Now those quotes really take time. It is no longer a time when I would just get something like few years ago, I would just go online and get an insurance policy, and it is no longer the same anymore, right? Especially with the kind of homes that sells in the Bay Area. I would recommend the buyers to really check with their insurance agent or wherever they are getting the coverage from, if it is already approved or not. Because many times our approvals can go as many, as long as 3 to 7 days, and the underwriting process has really changed from how it was a few years ago. So underwriters are very, very cautious about approving California homes due to like fires and all the natural calamities and all that stuff. So I think I would recommend any buyer to make sure that you have a fully approved insurance quote before moving in, before progressing your mortgage file.
Guys, you hear that? You call Subrata. You call Subrata, making sure before this is all about preparing yourself, right?
Yes.
We do all the homework in advance. We set up an offer that can put us in a winning strategy, and having a contact and communication who you work with matter. So you call Subrata, making sure you understand this particular property and the address can be insured, and have Sprout a double check for you, so you as the buyer have the confidence to
That's right.
remove insurance contingency and make yourself more competitive on today's market. So,
Mhm.
last thing, let's say we are so excited, we are in contract, we are using, Sprada as the insurance or any other insurance company. How do they pay? Do they pay you guys directly, or can they pay you through escrow?
So for new home purchases, the premium is typically paid by the close of escrow. It is the customer is only paying. It's just a matter of the insurance premium getting added to the closing costs, right? So the first year, I think it's also important to clarify with your with your mortgage professional you are working with your real estate agent. Check with Sophie, I would say, to where is the premium coming from. That's number one. Number two is that many a times the customers go for impounding, an impounding account, where the mortgage only pays for the premium every single year, right? So it's again one of the things that you check with your insurance agent, if or you can just pay it upfront yourself, and then you have to submit the receipts to the close of escrow. To avoid all this in between, so we just recommend that, hey, Mr. Customer, you don't have to do anything. If you're happy, just sign it, and it's going to go directly to the close escrow, and they're gonna fund the insurance for the first year.
Yes, I agree with you 100%. This is why we tell you guys how to make this process so much easier. Guys, today we talk about a lot of, buyer that's on the market that need to be insurance and how the process is by. Don't forget, guys, Subrata is here. If you are not happy or confused and need a little direction and guidance for your existing insurance, Subrata is here. You are more than welcome to reach out to him and his team to understand what are options that he and his team can provide you, even with the existing insurance. Of course, that if you have any insurance question, now you guys has the expert in the house. So on the right hand side, once again, you have Sprada's contact information, making sure reach out to him directly and let him know you guys connected, or his contact through today's webinar. We are more than happy. This is why me and Sprada take up time of our day to make sure you guys are continue getting education, guys. We are going to keep on bringing you more information to be educated. So who you work with matter. If you have any real estate question than me, anyone you are thinking about that would like to sell the home or buy a home or invest here in the Bay Area, please reach out to me. My name is Sophie Lin with Keller Williams. My contact is here below. Feel free to reach out, give me a call, and we can set up a one-on-one Zoom. Well, today, thank you for all of your time. I understand there are more questions that you guys have. I'm so excited excited to see your interaction on the chat box. With the limited time, what we would love to do is reach out to you individually and then get a chance to understand your thoughts and question and plans. So Subrata can actually help you guys at the insurance level, and I can help you guys with the real estate level. We are one of the best team, and please follow us, and we look forward to get your feedback and thoughts. Thank you so much for today's section, Subrata. We
Thank you so
appreciate
much,
you.
Sophie.
Have a great day, guys. You are amazing. At 6:30 p.m. at nighttime with us, we are just incredible, amazed to have you. So follow us. Our next one is coming in April. And if you have any question, feel free to reach out to us. Have a great night, guys.
Thank you, Sophie.